Welcome if this your first time on the channel. Today we are listening to Rich Paul say some crazy things about David Falk and basically saying, yo, because of your race, you shouldn't be able to speak on the GOAT debate, which is kind of crazy to me, but we're going to listen to him say that. And then we're going to listen to Stephen A. Smith check Rich Paul and let him know who David Falk really is. Now, David Falk is Michael Jordan's agent, or he was Michael Jordan's agent. He came out and said, yo, I really like LeBron, but I think if Jordan had cherry picked what teams he wanted to be on and two other superstars, he would have won 15 championships. 15 is a lot, but that's what he said. I definitely think he would have won way more championships. 15 is a lot though. Like that is a lot. But let's listen to what Rich Paul said. Now, David Falk is a white guy. He's been around the league for a long time, but he's a white guy. Listen to what Rich Paul said. And I really hate that they do this with sports. I just hate it because sports is a place where we supposed to come together. I was in the military. Military was a place where you come from all over America. Once you get in the military, you're going to have a leader that's white, a leader that's black, a leader that's Asian, a leader that, different leaders. And you're going to have to, work with everybody to accomplish a mission. So I hate that it's certain things in our society that's supposed to bring us together, but they keep playing on the race stuff to separate us, even in the things that's supposed to bring us together. But let's listen to Rich Paul and what he's saying right here.
David Falk said something the other day about LeBron cherry picking, and they was talking about it this morning, and I'm like, that's interesting to use the term cherry picking. When, if we're going to make a fruit basket here, maybe I'll sing you one after I leave for having me on the show.
Thank you, Rich.
But the careers of the LeBron and Michael Jordan, it's not apples and apples for a number of reasons. But the cherry picking terminology of it all, coming from someone who literally had John Thompson, Dean Smith, and Mike Krzyzewski supporting his business, putting superstar athletes in his lap. I think he was part of the Cherry Clan. I used to sell. My dad used to sell that candy back in the day. I just thought that was very unfair and a little beneath David Falk. And I think that those type of comments is also the reason why people that look like me in my community always think there can only be one king. And it's forever embedded us as the minority in a lot of places, and why it's so uncommon to see a community of successful black men. So I thought that was very, again, beneath David Falk with all the success he's had and all the cherry picking that he's been able to do amongst the three highest level universities there could ever be as it pertains to aligning with the game of basketball. It doesn't get any bigger than Georgetown, North Carolina, and Duke. So he actually has a bag of cherries, So I'll leave that there, though.
This is crazy. Rich Paul took it to a whole nother, Like, he done brought race in and everything. And it's like, yo, dog, black man, we can get together and do some stuff if we want to get together and do some stuff. I'm for that. That's what's up. Then he said, yo, we only think it could be one king. Nah, man, it could be many kings. A lot of us can thrive and be successful. A lot of the people in his circle is thriving and being successful. Off the court. So this ain't on the court, LeBron James. Off the court, LeBron James. I love what he done did. Whether it was the school that he was working with, I know it's like a public school or something, but he helped get that together. Whether it was the different stuff he do when he give back. I don't like how he brings politics and everything when he speak on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I don't like that. But the things that they give back and how he brought up his circle and everybody getting money, that's fire. I like that. But for him to go and do the race thing, it's like, yo, dog, hold on, man. So a guy that's an agent that been around the league for a long time, he can't have no opinion about the GOAT debate because he's talking about two black people and he's white? Like, yo, that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. We can't just always play that card. Like, hey, I gotta always. It's like, yo, what are we doing? We supposed to be bringing people together. If you live in a righteous life, you should want to bring people together. That's all I'm saying. You know, I hate that he did that. And a lot of entertainers do that. I don't know if they doing it to make us feel like, yo, I'm still with you, black man. I still, but we know y'all with us. Y'all ain't got to do that. Show us that you with us by building institutions. And y'all done did that. So it's like, come on, dog. You can't do that. But let's listen to Stephen A. Smith and what he done said about David Falk. This after Rich Paul comments, by the way. So let's listen to Stephen A. Smith.
Let me say this one last thing. Who is David Falk? Let's remind the world of who he is. When we have a GOAT conversation, America, do you realize that David Falk is in the conversation as the GOAT of agents in history?
Yeah.
David Falk, who, by the way, was somebody that I butted heads with in the past, Mike, before we got to know each other better, before I learned the error of my ways because of his brilliance. And then in the aftermath of all of that, we cultivated a very strong friendship. I got a lot of love and respect for this man. David Falk is unquestionably one of, if not the greatest agent in the history of sports.
Listen
and I know of no one. I've encountered no one in the sports agency industry who would refute that kind of assertion about him. They all, black, white, and everything in between, they all say, he might be the greatest ever.
Yeah.
That is who said Jordan instead of LeBron. And yes, he did business with Jordan along with various other players. And he's the kind of dude that's going to always go with his guys because that's how he roll. But it doesn't make him a liar.
Boom. You see how Stephen A. Smith threw the black and white. Everybody will say so. We can't just disregard people like, yo, dog, you can't say. So I'm black, right? I watch football. You telling me I can't say who the greatest quarterback of all time is? If I'm choosing between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning? If I think, yo, I watched both of them. Tom Brady had a defense most of his career. He had Bill Belichick. Peyton Manning was the man controlling the whole offense. I'm just giving an example. I can't say that now because I'm black. It's like, yo, dog, no. We watch sports. It's a masculine game. We can't have these type of things into masculine game where we just like, yo, disregarding people because of their race and all. It's like, nah, dog, that's silly. That is too silly. And no disrespect to Rich Paul. I just think he's off on this, and maybe he been hanging around a circle where a lot of people play that card, but it wasn't necessary at all, man. Y'all let me know. What do you think about Rich Paul saying, yo, David Falk shouldn't be the one talking on this, and this is why black people can't come together, black men don't come together. And then let me know what you think about Stephen A. Smith coming back and saying, yo, David Falk been around the league for a while, great agent, everybody respect him, white and black. You know, he put an emphasis on that when he was speaking. So let me know your comments on it. As always, if this is your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content. Click that like button. Y'all be easy. Be safe.